Hey you guys, it's me here with the second episode of the devlog. Last time I recorded for a long period of time and you guys kind of just watched me program, and honestly that was not nearly as interesting as I thought it was going to be. So this time I think I'm going to take a slightly different approach. I'm going to tell you a bit about what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do it, and then I'll come back and I'll show you guys what I did, walk through the code a little bit, show you how it works in the game. So I guess without any further ado, the first thing I'm going to do here is fill out this enemy attack state handler. You notice it's empty right now. The enemy is just transitioning between its idle state, which is here, it just kind of moves randomly, to when I'm in its line of sight, it will pursue me. So it gets a little bit faster, it moves in my direction, and it can switch between those two states. But I want to add transitions to the attack state and then actually figure out how to do some melee attacks. So I think that would be cool, and I'll show you guys how that works in just a minute. Alright, so if you guys can see here, the enemy is in state 0, which is idle, when it can't see me. Oh, he can see me. He's in state 1, which is pursue. Now let's get back up here so we can see the state. And if he gets close enough, you see it switches to state 2 real quick. So that is the attack state. Right now there's no actual attacking going on, but you can see it is switching between all three states. Then it goes from attacking back to pursuing, and if you get out of line of sight long enough, from pursuing it'll go back to idle. So let's walk through these states real quick. In idle, it basically first is going to check, hey, is the player in my line of sight? The enemy is checking. If so, I'm going to go to the pursue state. And if not, I'm just going to kind of roam around. I'm, changing directions every few seconds, and that's about it. In our pursue state, the first thing we check is, hey, how close am I to the enemy? If I am within, right now it's checking 16 pixels. Grid is a macro for the grid size in this game. That's 32 pixels. So if I'm within 16 pixels, I'm going to go to the attack state. And you saw it do that. When it got close enough, it went to attacking. If that doesn't apply, I'm too far away, I check, hey, are you not in my sight? If you're not, after a second goes by, I'm going to go back to being idle. If you are still in my sight though, then, don't be trying to go back to idle. Instead, we're going to figure out what direction to have to go to get to the player, and then we're going to move, and we're going to stay in our pursue state. This is actually, I also fixed the that bug last time where the state was flipping between 0 and 1 really fast. I realized it's because I forgot to set this pursue seconds back to 0, so it was maxed out up here and was constantly trying to switch back to idle even when it wasn't supposed to be. I also made it so each of these enemy handler scripts returns a state at all times. Before it was only returning if it changed, but I want to be really explicit about it and make sure I know exactly what state I'm going to at all times. So I changed the functions to always return a state. And then here's attacking. Pretty simple right now. It's just going to remain in the attacking state for as long as it takes the attack animation to play. There is no animation at this point, but that's how a lot of games work. Because you're in the attack state, animation plays, animation gets done, you leave the attack state, and then this will put us back in the pursue state, which if you're in line of sight, it's going to keep pursuing. If you're not in line of sight, it's going to pursue for a second, which kind of makes sense, right? It's like you're still alert, but then it's going to stop. It's going to go back to being idle. So I guess now I'm going to go ahead and try to actually implement an attack. So I'll probably use a hitbox, maybe make a simple animation so it's clear that I'm attacking. Yeah, and that'll be about it for this one. Hey guys, so I tweaked the FSM draw method I have here. Sorry, I was moving around like I was gonna go move my player. So don't mind this stuff. This is basically just like what color were you before? Okay, set that back at the end when we're done. It's just going to draw the state right on the enemy, which is kind of nice. So we're gonna be able to see the enemy move around even after he goes invisible. What else did I do here? So in the attack state, right, okay. So I started by making a hitbox. Here's a sprite, just little translucent red hitbox. That is an object here, and the only thing that it knows about is its creator. So what's the instance ID of the thing that created it? That gets set in the attack state handler after it gets made right here. In the attack state,
Same thing, it just waits till the animation plays. There isn't really an animation. I'll do that at some point, but we will be able to see the state change. Added a couple variables in the init script there so that the attack state works. In the player, I added a collision with the hitbox object that basically just checks, hey, the instance that created this hitbox, is it an enemy? If it is, we're going to take some damage and we're going to destroy the hitbox. That way we don't keep taking damage from it. And if we go ahead and play this, oh, I gave a health bar to the player too. We can see the enemy run right up and switches to state 2, which is attacking, and our health goes down. State 1 is pursuing, so we can see it pursue, and then when we go out of sight, you see it goes back to 0, and he's just gonna, you know, keep running away, going in random directions. But then we come back in sight and whoop, right back into pursuing. Yeah, so that is pretty simple attacking. I'll fine tune it, try to make it a little bit more interesting. And then I think next time I want to really start looking at building materials, like, you know, being able to place walls, being able to build doors, things like that. Because the enemy, the threat is there. It's a very basic enemy at this point. It operates just like all the Minecraft enemies. It just follows you if it sees you. But I think that's enough to go on. We can get to the point where we're building things. I think that'll be pretty exciting. And then, yeah, hopefully those 2 gameplay elements of building the base and competing with enemies will just kind of play off from each other, and we'll end up with something pretty interesting. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching this, and if you want to know how different bits are implemented, if you want tutorials about it, just let me know. I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.